voters who voted in 2021, we shall have denied a good chunk of eligible Ugandans the right to exercise their democratic right. So it is only fair for us to conduct this exercise.
Okay. Now the question has always been that you talked about previous elections. Now we are seeing, and we also left with about 10 months to the next general election. Now the question has been that why is it important for a new voter to also take part in this exercise?
Oh, this update is not, for the avoidance of doubt, this update exercise is not for, it's not a mass kind of registration of voters. It's for first-time voters, people who have made 18, or older people who have never had the opportunity to register as voters. So we give them an opportunity to register. It's an opportunity because it is a self-reporting activity. You don't coerce anybody. Because even after registering, you are still at liberty to go and vote or not to vote. So that is how it is. So we are very happy with the members out there who have heard our plea and come forward to register. Today is day 20. We are only left with 2 days. Tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. So take advantage of this remaining time and become an empowered citizen. So that means if you are not a voter, you are not an empowered citizen. There are two qualities of, or two characteristics of a citizen. A citizen who pays his tax and a citizen who can vote. So in other countries, if you don't have other relevant documents, they look at the voter's card because it means you have a sense of responsibility. You have civic competence. So the issue of voting is very, very important. Secondly, this is also an opportunity and a gateway for you to get a national ID because we do it through National Identification and Registration Authority. So you also get a national ID. Okay.
Anyway, I'll come back to you because I still have another question to you. After being issued the national ID, does that guarantee me as a voter? But that will be coming later on. And now let me turn my focus onto him. I want to understand, as a registered voter, is this exercise important for me as well? Let me give that chance to you.
Well, thank you so much, moderator. This exercise is very important to you as a registered voter. First, it gives you an opportunity to contest as a candidate once you're a registered voter and you're on the National Voters Register. You can contest for any position from presidency, parliament, or even local councils, and LC1. Number two, it is important because you can nominate a candidate. You know, all candidates need nomination. If you're not a registered voter, you cannot nominate. So it is important. Number three, you can also propose a candidate or second the nomination of a candidate. And then another reason is you can also support the nomination of a candidate. You know, when this, from presidency, all these political positions have supporters.
So that means it actually propels us into the next stage coming. Should I say that?
Come again?
Does that propel us to the next stage? Maybe, because I believe this is the part of the electoral process.
Yeah, this is the foundation of the electoral process. If you are not on the National Voters Register, you cannot do anything.
That means you risk being thrown out by that time.
If you are not a candidate, you cannot be nominated. If you're a candidate, you can. If you want to contest, you cannot be nominated.
Now to that viewer out there who has not taken the initiative of being part of this exercise and is now worried and wants to be part of this exercise and maybe also really engage in active politics come 2026, where we're just counting less than 10 months now. I want to know where this team is. Where do I find them? Because I personally have been moving to some of the areas where sometimes I'm told, you cannot do this from us here. Maybe move to your patch. Where do I find this? Because this is an exercise that is currently being undertaken in over 10,700 parishes across the country. Now, where do I find them? Maybe for one who has not taken the initiative and would want to also engage in this in the remaining 2 days.
The exercise is taking place within the parishes of Uganda. So within the cities, it is in every ward. But in the districts outside the city, the rural districts, there's one kit per sub-county, but it is being rotated within the parishes. So if you're looking for those places, please get in touch. We have our team on the ground. The parish supervisors, the sub-county supervisors, they have a program that they have drawn.
Okay.
And that can be used. You can find the location where they are.
Okay. Now let me turn back to Mr. Juma. Yes. On quite a long time, I've been asking people to go for this exercise. Others have been telling me I don't vote in this area. Now that leaves me with one question to find out maybe how and maybe what can I do to see that I change my voting location as part of this exercise. What does it take?
You can take part from anywhere you are. You can register as a voter from any location in the country. Like if you register in Arua and then in future you want to go and contest in Mukono, there is no harm.
Okay.
Because the requirement for contesting or for being a candidate is that you must be a registered voter. They do not restrict it to the area where you want to go and contest.
Okay.
The other aspect of you registering where you want to contest is to show people that, oh, here I am, I want to vote for myself, and please support me. But otherwise, you can be a registered voter of any electoral area in the country, but contest somewhere else.
Okay.
So that is a thing. Then, for purposes of people who want to transfer, it is our system is arranged in such a way that I voted in Kampala in 2021. Now I'm resident here. So I get confirmation of residence from the local authorities here. And I can be transferred from Kampala to Arua as long as I have the necessary codes of my previous polling station so that they can transfer me to my new voting location. So that one is very simple as long as the applicants for transfer have the necessary codes so that they can be located on the register from the other side and comfortably be transferred.
So to transfer, is there any process that is involved?
Yeah.
Maybe what is that process?
Yeah, it is a non-electronic process.
Because sometimes you hear you come along with LC data. Is it necessary?
The challenge with transfer is our people who go to apply for transfer do not have records of where they voted before. So they have records of this current location because we have registers. There has district code, constituency code, sub-county code, parish code, and the polling station code. But if only an applicant can be responsible enough to keep what we call the voter location slip, it has all the necessary codes for the previous. So for transfer to be successful, you need the codes of the current registration. Current registration meaning how you appear on the register. Okay. And then the ones of this place where you want to transfer, you can volunteer and it is available. Okay. It's available with all our update officials. So that's the challenge with transfer.
Okay. Anyway, dear viewer, if in case you are still watching us and you want to be part of this exercise, you can still do it in the remaining 2 days. You never know, the time may also be running up, and really want to say you must therefore make sure that you take part in this remaining 2 days, because it could also have an impact on your progress and your process of having election in 2026. But that is already why we are with the team, and we want to see how, of course, the progress, maybe how this is moving in the entire West Nile sub-region, and we want to see how this exercise will be a success. Maybe I will be also asking him in his jurisdiction how this exercise is moving. How is it also being conducted? Should we say it is moving on successfully in your area?
Yes.
In your own opinion?
Yes, we're moving so well. And though the number is increasing, but we have really managed to cover ground a lot. Okay. And I think by Monday, we will assess the situation.
Okay. Yes. Maybe that is also really where we are going to be stopping with the discussions for now as we run for a short commercial break. This is still the talk show where we are joined by a team from the Electoral Commission, and we want to see how the National Voter Register exercise, which is still also moving on with just 2 days also to stop, and we want to see how of course, this is moving in the entire West Nile sub-region. My name is Farish Majid. We are taking a short commercial break. When we get back, the discussions will be able to follow. And in case you're watching us and you have any questions, you can keep them coming through on our comment section. That's on YouTube. Drop the comments in there. Meanwhile, for those on Facebook, you can as well drop the comments there. Not forgetting those watching us via the X handle, you can still tag us and we shall be in position to read through some of your comments. For now, we are taking a short commercial break. When we get back, the discussions will be able to follow. Once again, my name is Farish Majid. Stay tuned.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. In the dance of shadows and light lies the heart of Uganda's resilience amidst the challenges of the night, where innovation meets necessity and education refuses to be dimmed, where connection thrives in the absence of power. Embrace the power of the sun with StarTime's solar range of solutions. And empower your journey towards a brighter tomorrow. StarTime Solar. Power your life.
Mama Nat,
how are you?
I'm okay.
Here are your bananas.
Are they good?
Very, very good. But you are always buying bananas. Have you updated yourself like you updated your stomach?
Hey. Mama Nat.
Look at this.
My balance.
The balance. Mama Nat to give you the balance. That is a criminal.
You can register as a voter or check.
Rukia, did you hear?
What?
Vote update is happening. If you don't register, who will vote for your honorable? Rasta.
Zara, did you send that report?
I forwarded your email this morning.
Peter, can you imagine? I just verified my voter's details online. I just verified my voter's details online and it's as easy as sending a WhatsApp message.
Really? Online?
Yes.
Show me.
Uganda, your vote is your voice and every voice matters. From 20th January to 10th February 2025, you can register as a voter or check to update your voter details. Visit our update center within your parish. Call 0800-200-071 or visit www.ec.or.ug today. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Uganda.
Yes. Yes. Bwenti. Bananga sengabera mukyala.
Hello.
Hello.
Owangu de TV bwaguga. Esanyu ngatono.
Esanyu lingi nnyo liri ku mutima. Liri ku mutima.
Bana nanyigana labingako omusolo kwazaamu.
Emyezi emeka?
Myezi 3.
Yo muwanguzi mu Azam TV na wangula fridge.
Ate tulina ekirabo Ssemalabo miliyoni 2 wewangulire miliyoni 2 bettu kati nno tolinda weeyumye ku ssanyu leero okumanya ebisingawo noti 3 23 noti 8 9 noti.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Mama Nat,
how are you?
I'm okay.
Here are your bananas.
Are they good?
Very, very good. But you are always buying bananas. Have you updated yourself like you updated your stomach?
Hey. Mama Nat.
Look at this.
My balance.
The balance. Mama Nat to give you the balance. That is a criminal.
you can register as a voter or check.
Rukia, did you hear?
What?
Vote update is happening. If you don't register, who will vote for your honorable? Rasta.
Zara, did you send that report?
I forwarded your email this morning.
Peter, can you imagine? I just verified my voter's details online. I just verified my voter's details online, and it's as easy as sending a WhatsApp message.
Online?
Yes.
Show me.
Uganda, your vote is your voice and every voice matters. From 20th January to 10th February 2025, you can register as a voter or check to update your voter details. Visit our update center within your parish. Call 0800-200-071 or visit www.ec.or.ug today. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Uganda.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from the short commercial break. We are still continuing with the discussion that is in relation to the National Voter Registry exercise, which is still going on, but we just only 2 days to close. We started, of course, on the 20th of February last month and has been moving on up to now. We are just left with 2 days. That will be on 10th, that one will be on Monday. That's when we shall be seeing this exercise closing. And now many people have been asking several questions here and there. And today we are joined by a team from the Electoral Commission led by the regional officer, that is Juma Sasa Adam, and also the returning officer for Terego district, that is Ewal Benjamin. And now I want to also start off the discussion right with Mr. Ewal Benjamin as he comes from Terego, where people may be having a number of questions whether I need to pay money for this exercise. In case I want to register as a new voter, maybe, and also want to transfer my details from polling station A to another area, do I need to pay money? Because we have had stories where people are being ferried to have their details changed. Do I need to pay money for this? Because we cited bribery in some areas where people were being asked to pay money.
Oh, the answer is no. You don't need to pay money. And I want to explain further that in this process of update, there are so many stakeholders involved. Let me start with fresh registration. If you are registering, we give you form. The forms we call form 3. You come and pick from the update center. That form is free. You should not even pay money. They should not give you to even go and photocopy. That form is free. That is number one. Then 2, if you want to transfer yourself from one voting location to another, there is a form that you take to LC1 to endorse, to confirm whether you originate or reside there. You should also not be charged by anybody. It is also free. Then if you want to, there is these categories of people are calling Get First ID. These are students who were registered some time back and they have already made 18 years. Now they want to now apply to be assigned a polling station and enter the National Voters Register. There's a form they are given from the update center, which is also free. And when they take to the LC1 to sign, to endorse and bring back, all those processes are free of charge.
Meaning LCs are not supposed to ask for money?
LCs are not, no, they are not supposed to ask for money for their stamps. Anyway, it is free of charge.
Okay. That is it, and I believe it is clearly explained. And I still want to ask about the new voters. We still have the new categories which you mentioned. Of course, the students who might have clocked 18 within these days here. What is it like? Should they continue to also register as new voters under this exercise? Because by the fact that as they were registered by NIRA, they could be getting maybe 18 within these days here. What is it like? Maybe if you can paint for us an image in relation to the mix around students who could be clocking 18 or else have already clocked 18.
Okay. Like Benjamin has said, for students, they just go and update their particulars. Actually on Form 7A, they had already been verified. Their citizenship is not in doubt.
Okay.
Because when a student is going to register, the requirement is a national ID of one of the parents. If you can have both parents square, but if it is only one, it's also enough.
Okay.
So a student has already been verified. The purpose of the student coming to our center is.
So is there any need for them to register fresh?
No, they don't register fresh. That form is just for updates of the biometrics and facial. They take the photograph. Because all the information is already in the system. Because you see, you might have registered 4 or 5 years ago. From 2017, they have been registering. Now, you might have had some changes in the way you appear. So they just take the biometrics and take a photo that is updating your particulars and assign you a polling station.
Okay.
So in that particular respect, you're also enabled to get a national ID.
Okay.
Because, by the way, they already have a NIN, national ID number. So for your students, you cannot do a national examination without a NIN.
Okay.
So it's a requirement. So their process is very simple. The only 2 categories that require LC1 endorsement is transfer for confirmation of residence, like you said, and for first-time applicants for national ID, because citizenship verification is key in all these. People have been asking, why do we involve security in this thing? We register through the infrastructure of NIRA. And NIRA's verification mechanism includes confirmation of your citizenship by security. They're the most competent people to know who is who, you see? So they are not there for political purposes. They are always there, whether we're registering under Electoral Commission or under NIRA. The GISO, the Gombola Internal Security Officer, is there to help verify somebody's citizenship together with the LC1. So it is an ongoing process. Students don't need to go through this elaborate process of going to the LC. They have already been verified. They have data already in the system. We have student data. Every registration center is uploaded with the student data. So they just go and they take the biometrics and take the photograph, and they're good to go.
Okay. Still holding on to you, we are talking about the special interest groups here. Are they being catered also as part of this exercise, just like the students? Are they catered for?
Yes.
Is it inclusive? Is it inclusive enough for also really the PWDs to be catered for? And how is it maybe done? How are the details being compiled?
The students?
The PWDs we are talking about.
Oh, PWD is being included. Actually, this update is for the National Voters Register and registers for special interest groups. And in the special interest group category, we have the PWD, we have the youth, and the older persons.
Okay.
For youth and older persons, their determination is by way of age.
Okay.
So the age determines who is a youth and who is an older person, or who ceases to be a youth, because the moment you clock 30, you are removed from the youth register. You are no longer youth. That's what happens. Then for PWD, on Form 3, the NIRA form, there is a way they categorize the category of disability. Okay. So if that field has been included, if they fill that field, it means your details will go straight to the PWD register of that village.
Okay.
Because you know when they are forming that structure, they begin from the village level. So all these updates are being captured to go to be part of the register of the various categories at the village level.
Okay.
Youth at the village level, PWD at the village level, and older persons at the village level.
Okay, that means there are considerations and also maybe some bit of considerations when it comes to these PWDs, maybe special interest groups in general.
Actually,
is there any difference maybe in terms of making sure that this is cutted under this category, maybe this is implemented this way? Are there maybe any special considerations?
No, the one for youth and older persons is a silent one, because the law empowers that to be done through an electronic system where if I am 18 years and I'm not 30 years, automatically my details go to the youth register. If I am 60 years, I go straight to the older persons register, and that one is open. From 60 until death, you remain there.
Okay.
Then for PWD, there is no way you can determine it through the database. You have to go physically and determine who the PWD is. Okay. Now, as we enroll on the NIRA form 3, there is where you indicate whether you're a PWD and the category. Is it blind? Is it deaf? Is it other forms of category of disability?
Okay.
So that one is determined. That's why we call it update of the National Voters Register and also registers for special interest group.
Okay.
And for your information, after this update and display, we shall now start forming the structure of youth from the village, PWD from, they go up to the national level.
Okay.
That's how they later on elect their representatives to the local government and to parliament.
Okay. What about Ugandans outside, maybe Uganda, currently living in the diaspora, and we wish to maybe participate in this exercise?
No, they will not. The policy we have at the moment does not allow Ugandans.
But they're Ugandans
outside. Yeah, Ugandans outside the country to participate in this election, unless they come back and register here. Unlike other countries,
okay,
we do not have polling stations outside the boundaries of the country. Kenya did it. Kenya had an election and they had a polling station at the embassy here. So what happens here, for national ID registration, the government provides an opportunity for NIRA to go and register citizens who are eligible outside Uganda. That is for the acquisition of national IDs, but not for purpose of voting.
Okay. Now let me bring Mr. Benjamin back. I know I've kept him waiting for quite a long period of time. Now that this leaves with one question. What will happen to the Ugandans who would have clocked 18 years and have not taken the initiative of having their details verified or maybe updated by the 10th of February, which is just 2 days away from now? What will happen to them?
It is unfortunate if by 10th of February, which is the official cut-off date for update of the National Voters Register, if you miss it, then you will miss being in the National Voters Register. Consequently, if you're not on the National Voters Register, you will not vote. First of all, as a citizen, you will not vote. Secondly, you will not second, nominate, or support the candidature of anybody. You will just watch these electoral processes from the sidelines. You cannot participate in any way.
Okay, that means you are going to be prohibited from engaging, not even in election alone. Maybe if I want to aspire, will that also push me away?
Once you're not to the National Voters Register, you cannot do anything about elections.
Okay, that means the 2 days may sound many, but you must make sure that you are actually part of this maybe process, because many of the times people have been complaining about also really not maybe voting, but now we're saying if you would want to vote, the process is actually on, and I believe this is all part of the processes that would lead us into 2026 general election. Now that's sort of where we'll be pausing with you a bit. Now heading back to Mr. Juma, as I still have very many questions for him here. And now that's sort of where we are now asking, what is the role of local leaders, I mean the S1 chairpersons, in this exercise? Do they have a role to play?
Yes.
Because you mentioned people coming with maybe to also remove with the forms which can be picked from these centers to be signed by the LCs. What is their role?
Actually, all our activities are stakeholder centered. And LCs are actually at the core of this activity. Because now, registration of a voter is done through the same process of national ID card registration. So the LCs have been part and parcel of NIRA system of verifying voters and verifying citizens. So they are part of it. Right from the time when we conducted the regional stakeholders workshop, we invited representatives of youth, representatives of older persons, representatives of women, representatives of workers, and chairman LC5.
Security.
That is the apex of the representation of the local people. So under them, they have local leaders. So in that workshop, the chairman LC5 represented the LC system. So, and through the media, we have been able to appeal to them directly and show their role in this. Without LC1, They are catered for.
Okay.
And as far as the Electoral Commission is concerned, they have a budget. They'll be catered for, and there'll be a small thank you given to them.
Okay.
So, but that is
so what do you expect out of them now? Should they continue maybe asking for the stamp money because that is really something?
No, I think if there is any room at all, it shouldn't be in. It's unfortunate. This exercise is a national exercise.
Free of charge.
And if you are a leader, you are supposed to sacrifice and serve the country.
Okay.
So does it mean that you can get money from somebody who is ineligible, like a non-citizen? If money matters a lot, are you willing to bring many non-citizens to come and be part of our system? So it's bigger. It's about national security, you know. Unfortunately, most people do not value the fact that they are citizens of a country. You can see how some citizens are being returned to where they are supposed to be. And if you are being returned and you have somewhere, at least you say, I'm going home. But assuming you are being returned and you have nowhere to go, you see.
Becomes a challenge.
Becomes a challenge. So, the LC ones, we urge you to conduct this activity with integrity. Because no amount of money is enough for you to do this work. But serve the country. Be diligent. And for us, if there are people who have gone through the system and are not citizens, we all normally do a display of the National Voters Register where we recommend for deletion categories of people who are on the register, like non-citizens or underage or people who have died.
Okay.
So there is still an opportunity to detect
those
who might have come through our system fraudulently.
Okay, talking about the data structures, I believe the DSOs and the GISOs as well involved in this. And in Terego district, I know the GISOs are very, very much active. On several occasions, I've been able to move in the district, and you really see the GISOs are very, very much active on ground. Now let me come back to you, Mr. Benjamin. What do you expect of the GISOs and the DSOs in this exercise? What is their role in this exercise, as Mr. Juma was able to explain for us the role of the LCs? Now, what do you expect out of the DSOs and the GISOs who are also really part of this exercise? You must work.
Oh, if you remember at the onset of the 2014 National ID project, a team was constituted called the Citizenship Verification Team. Before you get an ID, you go through a process to verify whether you're a citizen or not. And that is how the security came into play. And that is how the office of the DSO, when you talk of office of the DSO, there's under the DSO there are the GISOs. So the DSO and the GISOs, their main role is to verify if you're a citizen or not, especially for the first-time voters.
Okay.
That you need to first go to them, they verify whether you come from this area. They know most of us, and they have their systems to do check if such and such a person is a member of the community. So their major role is citizenship verification, and they are focusing on first-time voters. Not first-time voters, but those who are registering for the first time.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what will happen after this exercise? Will there be any form of display of this updated register?
After this exercise, which ends on Monday, 10th, all the data that have been captured from the field will be processed.
Okay.
These activities happens behind the scenes.
Okay.
But after the capturing and processing of the data, we will go to the next stage of the electoral process.
Okay.
And that is the display of the National Voters Register.
Okay.
Everything that has been captured will be brought back to the community.
Okay.
In form of now the National Voters Register.
Okay.
Per polling station.
Okay.
And it will be put to the public
okay.
for them to go and see that if, for example, I had transferred my name from location A to location B, I now need to go and see from location B if my name is now appearing there.
Okay.
It is also the time to go and check if all your particulars
are correct.
Are correct.
Okay.
and that will be the last activity
Okay.
for the National Voters Register.
Okay, that means it is an important exercise. Maybe if you could highlight the advantages of this exercise you have just mentioned, of the details maybe being captured.
This exercise is very important because first, it gives you an opportunity to transfer yourself,
Okay.
if you want to the new voting location.
Okay.
Secondly, it gives you an opportunity to also apply
Okay.
to be included in the National Voters Register.
Okay.
Thirdly, it gives you an opportunity to check if all your particulars are correct.
Right, thank you so much. Mr. Juma has been shaking the heads, and I know that nodding is in response to adding something when it comes to this exercise that has just been moving on, and we are just left with now 2 days. Why must I be part of this exercise? And maybe come tomorrow if I want to be part of this exercise, and if I do not want to be left out, what should I carry along, and where will I find these people? What is expected out of me?
We have, when you come for your update, if you are already existing on the register, you expect to check.
How do I know that I'm registered in the registry?
We have the text registers.
Okay.
You check whether you are appearing under your previous polling station.
Okay.
And whether your names are still under the correct village. Like me, I vote under the village of Oso, the polling station called Olwodri.
Okay.
And then this particular exercise, we already qualified ourselves to be successful because as a district, as Arua City, as Terego, we already almost achieved the target of our registration.
Okay.
As of 3rd, total registration for the entire region shot to over 36,000.
Okay.
For the entire region. By the end of this exercise, that was on the end of week 2, because you had 3 weeks. So we expect to go beyond 50.
Okay.
And our target was around from 48,000 to 52,000, but we're likely to go beyond. So by merely looking at the statistics, we have already achieved.
Okay.
So I urge people out there to be part of this success. It's important for you to register. Then the decision to go and vote will be yours. See, there's no law which forces you to go and vote.
What about to be, is it compulsory? Oh,
it's not compulsory. This exercise is self-reporting. Self-reporting, you just have to be informed that something is taking place.
Okay.
And it's taking place within reach.
Okay, you know, many of the times our people still have that mindset of living under fear. They fear maybe sometimes this information that is being obtained, just like the myth and the propaganda against many government programs. I believe this could also really be registering maybe a slow, maybe progress as a result of that.
It is true.
Is this information confidential?
It is sensitization which tries to clear that. But for a young person,
So how is my information going to be kept confidential? Because I may be living under that fear.
Oh, there is a law. NIRA is in control of the National Citizens Register.
Okay.
Information is confidential. So your information is not a problem. Now, when you register and you get a national ID, it makes it easy for you even to acquire a passport. Or to recommend another citizen to get a passport. There are benefits which Benjamin has already enumerated. They are really numerous.
Okay.
Without being a registered voter, you cannot contest, like you said. You cannot vote for somebody, neither can you be voted for.
Okay.
You cannot even sue.
That means you're going to be thrown out of the electoral process.
Exactly.
Okay.
You cannot sue. You know, there are some people, I'm suing as a voter. So it means you are a stakeholder. You see, you are a stakeholder, you have a say, you have a voice. So it's a very important thing. Now, for young people, for you to move outside your home to get services in the bank, even using on your own account, apart from going to the ATM, you cannot do it without a national ID.
Okay.
Yeah. For you to open an account, they will not ask you to bring an LC1 letter, but the national ID solves the problem because you're a citizen. So this is a very important process. You are aware the national ID can also be used for travel. Okay. In the absence of a passport, it can be used for travel within the East Africa.
Okay.
So it's a very, very important exercise. I just urge everybody to take part of it, part in it. It is free of charge and just a time frame, which will end on the 10th of February. So people who will not have made 18 years by the 10th of February will not be empowered to take part in the elections of next year. They'll wait for the next election and then participate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That leaves me with one question now. 2 days are not very many.
Of course.
Has this day, maybe have the days been enough?
2 days.
In your own analysis, do you think the time from 20th of February, maybe 20th of January to this date, is it enough? Maybe 10th of February, is it enough?
Yeah, it is enough because, you know, we are coming to the field to undertake this exercise after NIRE had also done some mass registration of citizens around November. They call it mop-up, where they registered 3.5 million. And after every general election, when we go to the next general election, we normally add about 4 million voters. So if NIRE has already got 3.5, so what we are looking for is just 500,000.
Okay.
Now, if West Nile can have 50,000,
okay,
and West Nile is one of the 12 regions,
okay,
if every region got 50,000,
okay,
you can imagine we are over 600,000
okay,
new voters to add on to what NIRE already has. So, in terms of statistics, we are home and dry. Everything is catered for. And besides, it is not because of lack of publicity or lack of mobilization. You even know in our own religions, there have been, you know that on Sunday, Christians go and pray in the church, and on Friday, Muslims go.
So tomorrow will the team work?
But do they all go?
Not everyone goes, but tomorrow will the team work?
Which may make somebody not come.
Okay.
Yeah, and shouldn't be blamed on the Electoral Commission. That many factors. Somebody can be sick, somebody can be what? Or even confused, like you said, some people may fear that.
Their details may be used.
What is this detail that you fear to expose?
Okay.
Is it a DNA detail? It's just your name, your father's place, your tribe, your what? You fear to be known as a Lubara. Did you do an examination to be a Lubara? No. These are things which are there for the public to know.
Okay.
Yeah, you have nothing to hide as long as you are not a criminal.
Anyway, that means we must be part of this exercise with the remaining 2 days. Where will I find them? Maybe for one who is within Arua City, because you're in charge of Arua City and West Nile at large. Let's zero down to Arua City.
Arua City.
Where we are talking about the 2 divisions.
Now.
Because why am I asking this? Because somebody may not have seen the team come to their area and they're wondering where to go next. Because I believe you must have had the challenge of equipment where you must not have been to all the parishes. Because if you look at Uganda, we are talking about over 10,700 plus parishes.
Yes.
Have you been to all these parishes? Definitely, I would say maybe not all the villages of these areas.
Yes.
So where do I find them?
Actually, in Arua City here, like in Tanganyika, they have done very many cells within the ward. And tomorrow they'll be in Oli A.
Okay.
They'll be in Oli
That
A
is for those in the central division part.
That is Oli A. Then in Ipangisa, they were at the Arua Primary, they did the Osu, they did many places.
Okay.
I may not know exactly where they'll be, but when you call, I normally get in touch with our supervisors on the ground and they are within.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means we must organize ourselves as we are just left with 4 minutes to wind up with the discussion. We must therefore be part of this exercise. That means tomorrow, I don't know if the team will be able to work.
Yes.
Mr. Juma, maybe you
We are all there.
this. Tomorrow, are you working?
Yes, we...
Actually, after the studio, we're going back to office for like 1 hour before we go home.
That means we are not resting and this exercise must continue. Maybe tomorrow, if somebody is in Terego, maybe let's say in Odupi, and we wish to also be part of this exercise, where will they find maybe the team? Maybe those areas which you are aware of tomorrow where the team will be camping?
There is a timetable with the sub-county's election officer. And they're following it diligently.
Okay.
So tomorrow, actually, I would refer them to the sub-county contact.
Okay.
Because they keep moving.
Okay.
And,
that means there's no need for me to move up to Leju?
No.
Okay.
First get to the sub-county and get to get the timetable, there's a notice that they've written, they've given a schedule in all the sub-counties within the district, so that you go to the right place at the right time.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, that is also really where we are now stopping our discussions. I believe, as always, there are challenges you have been encountering. What are some of those challenges in the next 3 minutes as we wrap up?
Okay.
In every activity, there are always challenges.
Yeah, when we started, like you said, the turn-up was a bit slow, but with time, it gained momentum.
Okay.
Right now, when you go to our registration
the numbers are overwhelming.
You find the numbers are overwhelming. And that is where they tend to blame us. Because why do you wait for the last minute for you to show up? Why don't you divide the momentum across the entire period so that you come and the pressure is almost the same? Now the pressure is building towards the end. So that has been a challenge. There have been challenges even with the equipment, but we have been able to surmount those challenges. We have been able to manage. Where a machine is weak and needed power directly, we have been able to provide the necessary support. And we're moving well.
Okay.
We're moving very well.
That means the challenges in day one have been rectified. Now we are moving on well. Should I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
we would not be having these big numbers.
Challenges of electricity and network. Any challenges that side? Because if you look at Terego, it's a rural district where we are still having challenges of electricity connectivity. Is it the same challenge? Has it also in one way or the other affected your activity?
Well, most of the challenges, electricity was one of them, but it has all been mitigated, and we have operated smoothly. Well, the only challenge we have at the moment is the overwhelming number, especially in those two sub-counties of Dupi and Omogo sub-counties. They're big, and we still have very high turn-up, and we see how it goes the next 2 days.
Okay, that's also really where I'm left with only one question.
Yes.
Is this period really enough for us to ensure that each and everyone's detail is captured, in your own opinion now, as Mr. Benjamin?
This period, if we had utilized it well from day one, it would be enough.
Okay.
And I still think this remaining 2 days, we can still do enough. And by Monday, I think we will exhaust the people who are supposed to register.
Okay.
We will see review on Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
Whether to add more days or, because we saw when we had the national population census exercise, the days were not enough. We had an extension.
We are working for 22 days.
Okay.
There is unless communicated.
Okay.
But as far as we are concerned, the exercise ends on the 22nd day, which is on Monday.
Okay.
And Monday will be 10th. That is when the update of the National Voters Register will end.
Okay, as Mr. Juma, we are winding up. Also, really, I want to pose the same question to you. Don't you think adding more days to this exercise will be of great importance? Don't you think so?
There?
Adding more days towards this exercise.
Okay, when we made a survey throughout the region, we had
because we had politicians complaining about the time. Recently, we did see from the Forum for Democratic Change, people were talking about this time.
We look at real pressure points instead of listening to politicians will always complain. And however much you extend, you may not achieve. I can assure you, when the national census was extended, don't you still hear reports of people who have not been enumerated? They're there. So, however much we give time to people, there will always be some people out there who will miss it. So, we expect people to come and be served within this given time. Assume that there is no extension. Assume that there is no extension.
Okay.
And you come and serve. Now, if there is any extension at all, it has a charge on the budget. Which budget is being paid for by the local, that the same person who is asking for the expansion, you see? So it's something which should be managed within. Let us learn to do things within the prescribed period.
Okay.
Should there be an extension by our superiors, we have no objection. But as citizens, let's try to achieve within the normal time frame.
Okay. Looking through at the comment section, we have one comment coming in through from Asiku Thabit, and he says, thanks for the show. This is Asiku Thabit watching from Madi Village. My issue is about publicity. There hasn't been enough information given to the public, especially at the grassroots population. How true is this? Maybe how do you respond onto this? I'll give this to you, and he will also be adding on this issue of publicity.
Okay. We have been on various radio talk shows trying to popularize this. We even recruited our supervisors, and one of the cardinal roles they play is to inform the people. Electoral Commission gave us megaphones. There are megaphones in all these parishes. The sole purpose of which is to reach out to the people and tell them what is going on and where they can be served. So it is true we cannot reach everywhere, but he should also help us. Thabit, is it Thabit?
Yes, Thabit.
Thabit should also help us. We cannot use only our structure, but we also need responsible citizenry to pass over our message to the next person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that is to Thabit, but to the entire population, as we are just left with about 2 minutes, and I will be giving you, each one of you, some time to also have your final say as we are getting to wind up with the discussions. I will be able to start with you. Yeah. Any message to the public out?
Thank you. This is our country. This is an electoral process. Every competent citizen needs to take part in a democratic process. It's important. It's a show of civic competence. Yeah, civic competence. You know your rights. You know what you want. You want good service delivery. If you don't vote for the right leader, you will come and lament. The road is bad. There are no drugs in the hospital. You will not hold anybody accountable because you did not participate. Actually, people who don't vote participate in voting wrongly, bad leaders.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you don't vote, the few who will be there will decide for you, and you are not supposed to complain. So let's participate as usual, and this contribute to the building block which will make Uganda better tomorrow.
Right, that's Juma Shesha. He is the regional officer of the Electoral Commission, Western Sub-Region, and I still do have Mr. Benjamin, maybe also to add on what Mr. Juma said. Any additions?
Yes, I want to comment about mobilization. We have
Which Thabit talked of that was not properly done.
We have done mobilization. We have tried our best. We have used the government structure. All the radio stations and TV stations are advertising about something about Electoral Commission, print media. We have, and even the LCs, because we're using them, and we have urged them to mobilize the community. So mobilization has really been done. But sometimes people are just, people take their time to do certain things. And I want to make my closing shot in that I urge whoever has not yet come to check his particulars, has not yet transferred his voter location, if he or she intends to, is not yet a registered voter, this is the time. You have only 2 days to reach out to the update center and have you served.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming through. And dear viewer, I also want to thank you so much for being part of the discussions. And for Asiku Thabit, whose comment came through, I really want to thank you so much as well for being also really somebody out there who is very much concerned about issues really happening in this country. And really with that, I want to say we are coming to the end of the discussions. I hope you had a wonderful time with us right from the time we began until this hour of the evening. We want to say thank you so much. And we are going to be stopping here as we also let other programs continue. My name is Swarish Majid. Have a blessed evening.